Hi, this is my Halloween message. I have never celebrated Halloween and I think it's a silly holiday. It's all commercial, like any other holiday, but hey, if it brings some wealth and good economy, why not? The real fear that exists, it's a very subtle fear. And now we're talking about a normal life, You have almost everything you have. Now, people fear to be lagging behind in stuff. Some people have a partner, others don't. Some have a good job, some don't. Some have the place of living they want, some don't. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying. There's always something that you can get that you don't have. And the thing is, it's all just crybaby baby fear. For example, when my daughter wants something and she doesn't get it, she can be blatantly like, like she wants that thing. Adults are trained people, so it's more subtle, it's more sophisticated, it's more it can destroy a person's inner life basically, because there's always something lagging. People can work, have companies, achieve great stuff and still be empty. you know Celebrities take suicides, for example, because who knows, maybe there wasn't even a person near them who can actually talk them into seeing things for what they are. Now, fear is a subtle thing, and it has to be dealt with in a non-subtle way, so you have to be aggressive towards that. Why? Because with that you get freedom. Freedom is not to go and pick anything in a shop, to vote every fourth year. Fear is being motivated by the right kind of motivation. You see, because if you're driven by fear and that drives you to get something, or it can be angst or whatever, that is what you teach yourself. That's what's going to be your habits, your karma. If we look at karma as a pattern, as a habit, that is what your maybe people around you will suck in. Maybe your children. People won't look at your nice photographs and your nice appearance, but there's a subtle kind of energy there. So the way to escape this is very simple. It's to realize that you're being a child and that you will never ever be behind in something, and you will never be ahead of someone else. So while a person has lots of time, another person has lots of job, and the unemployed person with a lot of time wants to have a job and cries about it, and the person with all the job and money can be dissatisfied. But then there's the social pressure, yeah, that's another chapter, but things that are expected. But there's nothing expected of you. And this is when it comes to dignity and strength, because you have to be like a warrior. And when I say a warrior, I don't mean become a muscle mountain. Well, if you do that, that's fine too. But you have to be one with your head, with your heart, and with your guts. It has to become to that level. You just slice through whatever comes along, and sometimes you fail, but still you are practicing that kind of way of living as a warrior. And a warrior has no fear. A warrior has no fear. A warrior has a determination for victory. And victory does not have to mean that you must have a big mansion in Hollywood. A victory can be something, a goal you have for the next month, the next half year, next 10 years. And this is my experience, because for me everything is a positive motivation. If I want something and start to think about it, I see it as a challenge, as a battlefield. Not in a bloody way, because I'm not for war, but in a more metaphoric way. It's a joy, it's strategy, it's like passion, it's like your general pattern, and you place your troops, your strategy, and you achieve that goal. Maybe this is typical of a manly kind of way of reasoning. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case, but that's something that everyone can enjoy, because there are so many people who are dissatisfied and confused and always seek something else. And the most important thing with fear is that you always feel you lack something. That's why you maybe feel forced that you have to go on a meditational retreat. But hey, if you do, fine. But still, I mean, if you still feel like you have to go to a meditation retreat after having been to 10 retreats already, you're becoming a cozy, fearful baby, basically. So everything, like, think about your motivation for things, you know. What motivates you? What is it really that you want? And see that as a pleasurable thing to achieve. And always remember, like, life is like a chalice. You can't have everything at the same time. You can't achieve everything immediately. You have to have patience, and a warrior has patience, okay? Because no war is won over one night. And this is something important, because I have been people have a tendency to open up for me, because I don't judge them. I don't how do you say in English, talk about conversations you've had. And I've seen, I've heard, I met people of a younger age, of an older age, who are dissatisfied, who have a fear. You know, they can have everything, a good car, a good apartment, a good wife, but still they are out there scrambling for something extra, because somebody needs to turn on that warrior mentality. And young people can have that too, especially if you're around 30. You know, some people have the American dream, so to say. Some people have a good job but no partner. Some have this, some have that. And there's always like, this camp wants what the other has, but it's all baby attachment. It's like a baby. Like, I have a baby, so you know, sometimes she wants something, and when she doesn't get it, she's very open about her dissatisfaction. Adults pretend, we can masquerade. And Halloween, for example, is about phony fear. It's about costumes, trick-or-treats, but really it should be about the subtle fear and reminding ourselves to become warriors, and not in a sort of grim, like, oh, I'm the warrior in Game of Thrones, like I'm you know, I have to have this face. No, you have to be joyful. A joyful warrior, that's the best thing you can do for yourself. And this is something really worth of reminding yourself. This seasonal thing of Halloween costumes, and you see, it's all about the outer experience. It's all about the commercial aspects of it. But really, every day is a seasonal holiday. Every day is a paradise. Every day is a blessing. It doesn't matter if it rains, if you just sit and drink tea all day and you read one line in a book or something. Be there like a warrior present, because you know tomorrow will be something else. 10 years from now will be something else. Deal with stuff firmly, and firmly. Don't think about rocks, caves and stuff. Think about water. Be soft, you know, because to have patience, you have to be you have to accept blows by reality. You have to accept the time it takes to get somewhere. So you have to be strong, and the strongest thing is water, because water eventually gets down to become groundwater. It penetrates mountains. It's everywhere, and it's a cliche metaphor, anyways, to become like water. But still, with this sort of seasonal event of Halloween, which I think is sort of growing for every year, especially if you live in Europe, where this isn't a native kind of thing. I guess you Americans have had this in the 80s, 70s, 60s, I don't know. But for us here, I see like it becomes more and more, and the prepping part for Halloween becomes starts earlier. But really think about the subtle fear and how to overcome that, and how to become free, you know, because your freedom does not depend on outer expectations that you create. Freedom doesn't come by being motivated by fear. Freedom comes just by being free of fear. And once again, that vacuum, because you're like a chalice, everything is like a chalice, okay? So everything has to be filled with something. So you have to exchange that sort of inner fear, insecurity, expectations, time angst, whatever, life crisis, with the positive way. Positive, I mean forward going, warrior-like mentality, because some things you have done in your life you will never do again. Some things are still waiting for you. Everything has its own season. So that's my my Halloween message. And I went outside. It's dark, it's a clear night, and this lamp and this sort of shade on my half face, that's to have its sort of Halloweenish. But still, it's about being a warrior and just overriding that last drop of whatever confusing motivation you have. Take care and all the best.